race they had, these boys had of the evening. I shall just quickly run you through the field. I just remembered at the last recording I did, I was trying to go back to see what happened between James and Rhett Paul as to why Rhett Paul was back in second place. And of course, I've forgotten that what happened was James spun it coming out the exit of Spoon. That's what happens when you're talking about things and you're getting excited about what's happening, you forget what's happened. So anyway, in reverse order then, because obviously I didn't really go through properly the results of the last race. I do apologise about that. But in reverse order, for the second race, we have MC Hammer now, the BMW driver, in pole position. We have Dragon Eagle, who had an appalling, I felt sorry for him, first corner. Bit unfortunate, got bumped around and put off. But hopefully that'll bode well here, and he can show his class at Sardegna, or Sardegna, I'm not quite sure how you say it. He's in second place here in a Honda, and I was interested to see what the second car for Wrecked Paul was, if you remember from the first race. The Christmas Tree Reindeers, he is in, is that a Corvette? I think it is. I think it's a Corvette there in third place. Azeroth in another Honda in fourth place. Skivet in a Honda in fifth place. Admiral had a quiet race. Well, to be honest, a lot of drivers had a quiet race. The field was properly strung out for most of the race. To be honest, it was only up front where things really started to got interest. They were really quite interesting. Anyway, so here we have Crazy Admiral. Is that a Jag? Can't quite tell. I think it is. In sixth place. 55.8, Billy Miller in a Corvette. 7th, Hunty the Punty in an Aston. Oh, Hunty, I love you. You're in an Aston. I love Aston drivers. Blackie here in a Alpha, in a surprisingly good Alpha as well, I have to say. In 9th place, PTRT in a Honda. In 10th place. Surprised he wasn't using that Honda at Suzuka, but hey, let's see how this works out for him here at Sardegna. James, the Flying Pasty, ended up in third at the last one, is now 11th here in a Jag. Wrecked Paul, he's in a Honda. I'm surprised, Paul. I thought he would have been in a Honda for Suzuka. But even so, he did want to be in the Beamer to get to second place. That's well driven there by Paul. And Tricky's in a Beamer for the second race. So this is his second car. I'm not seeing what he's been driving. So this is going to be interesting. I'll try not to shift about too much, but as I don't know what happens in this race. It's difficult to catch everything cleanly because there's probably a lot going on. I'll go sort of middle of the field again so I can look backwards like that to see how things are going on. So waiting for the lights, and the lights go green and we're off. Slow start there by look like Azeroth. Oh, here we go. This is going to be chaos coming into the first corner. I'm going to pause it there and pause it there, see what happens. So the driver's everyone's trying to make the way through, to be fair. Doesn't quite work out. There's a little bit of bump in the margin, but fortunately no one's off the track at the moment. So everyone's kept it on the race circuit this time. It's very difficult to, especially with the physics of this game, to keep it clean. And who's that gone wide up here in the yellow car? Skivet's gone wide. Oh, someone's gone. Oh, PTRT's had a disaster here. I think PTRT, we will just go back for that. Slight little contact there by, yeah, unfortunately. Oh, again, it's not really his fault, I'd say. What happened there? As you can see, the Hammer tries to turn it in here, gets contact on Skivet, which bumps him round. PTRT tries to go up the inside, hits the grass, spins it, which then smashes himself into the Jag, that looks like, of James that went past. And he's now gone all the way back to 13th place. Disaster for the quick Dutchman. Remember, PTRT had a pole at Suzuka. So let's go work our way up the field, see who's going. What, there's a melee of drivers up here. Skivet looking up the inside of the 55.8, but the 55.8 loses the back end of that Corvette behind him, and now losing pace because he gets a poor run back out of that circuit. So, sorry, out of that corner. So here we are up front now with the Hammer with Reindeers battling away, and all it's letting, what it means is Wreck Paul and the Ham and Skivet get past. In the meantime, that's 4 abreast, 3 abreast coming into the last corner. In the meantime, everyone squabbling has just left. I did tell you he's quick. Dragon Eagle is storming off now in first place in the car to be in first place here in the Honda. Skivet has got his Honda into second place. Reindeers in the Corvette third. Wreck Paul has gone from near the back of the grid up to fourth, well driven by him, with Crazy Admiral in a Jag fifth, Hammer sixth, Blackie seventh, Tricky's moved his way up to eighth, PTRT's still there, he's got some places back up. Let's go back up to this, what's going on here with Blackie. Looking up the inside of Hammer, this is a much more exciting race. Oh dear, the Hammer, he's unfortunate, I saw that. Oh no, Hammer, you meant to keep out of the way, it's just caused mayhem. Mayhem there. Let's just pause this again, I'll show you all what's happened here. Hammer, unfortunately, comes into this turn, drifts it out wide. And I have to say, oh dear, what can you say? He hits. I think it was Admiral that he hit, and then rather than get out of the way, leaves it in the middle of the corner, which he should just get out of the way first. Get out of the way of the corner, otherwise you're just going to cause carnage behind you. So he was too late on the braking, and unfortunately hit. I think it was Hammer. It may have been James actually. So here we are on board now, unfortunate there. Hunted a punty back in the Aston, wasn't Hunty that got hit, I thought it was a white car. Here, yeah, it was James, I think James came off worse then. So the Hammer in the BMW ended up putting the Jag of the Flying Pasty off. So the 55.8. Hammer, I'm sorry mate, that was your fault, Hammer. The Hammer's taken off 2 people now. We shall focus more on what's going up front. Here we are, Dragon Eagle now pulling away in first place. Wreck Paul in another Honda. It's gone from the back of the grid up to second now. Skivet in another Honda in third place. Reindeers in a Corvette in fourth. He's being harassed now by Tricky, who's up to fifth. PTRT's got back up the field side by side now with Reindeers. 3 abreast now coming into this corner. Reindeers trying to block the 2 quick drivers behind him. But they're squabbling between themselves. PTRT and Tricky, but they both get it through. So Tricky holding off for the moment, the hard charging PTRT Honda. It's gone board with PTRT. He's looking to the right here of Tricky. This is going to be a difficult place to overtake, especially when you've got a Corvette in front of you. But has he got the drive? He's already passed. Wow, good driving there by PTRT. Can he get the Corvette at the same turn? Yes, he does. Great driving by PTRT. He's got through 2 people in the space of about half a mile there. Good driving. Clean manoeuvres past everyone. So up here with Skivet in a Honda, not catching Wreck Paul. So Wreck Paul's again in second place. He was second in the last place. Can Wreck Paul catch up with Dragon Eagle? Let's just run you through the field as we come down the main start-finish straight. So crossing the line is Dragon Eagle first, Wreck Paul second, Skivet now third, hanging on to third place. PTRT storming through the field for 4th. Tricky 5th. Reindeers looks like he's outbraked himself and gone straight into the gravel. He's going to lose the place to Hunted, Apunty and Aston. So Hunty's now 6th. Reindeers 7th. James has regained his composure. Looks like he's closing in on the Corvette of Reindeers now. Let's see if he can catch him, undercut him here. The Corvette's gone wide. Hits the curb, which has just allowed, or the dirt, sorry, to allow James to get a bit of a run up here in the Jag. The Reindeers drifted wide again, so now James has gone through. The Reindeers saying hello to quite a lot of barrier there, which has allowed Crazy through. Blackie's now through, so Reindeers dropping back through the field. Azarath would be next up to Reindeers. 55.8 here. And Racing Hammer back in last place. So, up front already, Wreck Paul has caught up to Dragon Eagle. We are on lap 3. It's only 7 minutes. It's been quite eventful, to be honest. An eventful 7 minutes. Not necessarily the best driving going on, but unfortunately that stuff happens. What comes around goes around, and it's worked in Wreck Paul's favour, because he is now right up close to the Dutchman. Can he make a pass? Turn 1. It looks like he's side by side. Who's going to be the break in the latest? And no, Dragon. I thought Wreck Paul was going to take a place. He doesn't. Great driving there by Wreck Paul and Dragon Eagle. This is what it's all about. I did see Skivet going off here at turn 1. Trying to get back on the track. Fortunately, he's ghosted through by Tricky, which is just allowing Hunter the Punty now to catch up to Chris in the Honda. And Skivet's gone off again. Comes back on, has forced the Aston wide. Side by side now are the drivers. The Aston's got the inside line also. James is going to be close too. Here we are with James. Looking, somehow Skivet's managed to keep that car in front, and oh my word, James, I'm not quite sure how he didn't hit Skivet there, but he didn't, and he gets through. So Jag versus Aston, Brit versus Brit car. Who's the quickest here? The Aston Martin was actually surprisingly steady at in the last race he was at. Touches the dirt on the way out, so it's starting to pull away from the Jag. Skivet's regains his composure. Can he regain his position? Drifts a bit too wide into that turn 4. This little kink here, which is a horrible little kink. As you can see, James is now looking quite dangerous. In the meantime, I've missed it. Oh, here we go. Dragon Eagle had lost his position, and now we're side by side down the start-finish straight with Wreck Paul. Paul's got the inside line though, so who will be braking? Who's the best of the late breakers? And it is Dragon. Dragon's got his position back. Great, classy fighting up front. How far is PTRT? He's in 3rd place. He's still a little way off. So these boys, nose to tail for a lap, swapping positions. I did think maybe if Paul got in front of Dragon, he could start to ease away slightly, but obviously, even when he did, he couldn't. So, we are nearly 10 minutes in, and I need a quick drinks break. There we go. As you can see, this time the League 5 boys are not strung out across the entire circuit. They're all there or thereabouts, so I don't want to focus totally on this bit at the front, but this is exciting here. Dragon Eagle is basically being harassed here by Wreck Paul. Wreck Paul had the lead for a moment, but Dragon Eagle fought back, so here we go. Look how close this is. Wreck Paul was driving superbly. Can he? Dragon's got very defensive at the last corner. Has forced Paul wide. Side by side through the last corner. Is Paul going to hit the barrier? He does. He's going to lose. Sorry, he's going to lose. There we go. Here on board with him. He's going to lose a bit of momentum, which is going to allow Dragon just to ease off a little bit there. Paul drifted too far wide, hit the turf, and gently nudged the barrier. It could have been a lot worse for the Honda driver. He could have smashed head on into that barrier there, and that would have slowed him right up. But no, he's caught close again up here at turn 1. Gets a better drive than Dragon out turn 1. There's now harassing the Dutchman here. Coming into turn 3. Is Paul going to undercut him here? This is a really tricky section to overtake. He does undercut the Dutchman here, but the Dutchman sticks to his line, blocks him for turn 5, forces Paul out wide, but there's respectful, great driving there by Dragon, giving Paul room to make the move. So Paul's now on the inside of Dragon Eagle. Can Dragon now undercut Paul through this section, get a drive up the hill, and both the drivers hit the barrier, but not Paul. Obviously hit it harder than Dragon did, so Dragon's got a better drive and the inside line coming up to his next turn. Back here with Paul. Undercuts Dragon Eagle. Who's going to break the last here? They both broke at the 100-yard barrier, and so Dragon's forced a bit wide. I thought Dragon's going to be a bit too deep there in his braking. He just slots in close now behind Paul. With these two, but I don't want to move to see where other drivers are doing. I want to stay on this at the moment because this is exciting. We want to know though, how far back is PTRT, because he is going to be, I think if I remember right, is PTRT in a Honda? Yes, he's in a Honda as well. See, he's catching these boys. And Tricky, what's Tricky? And Tricky's in a Beamer, so that PTRT drove a bit too wide then. Oh dear, and now Paul has got a bit of a lead now over Dragon Eagle. Has Dragon got any kind of toe though to bring him back up to the rear bumper of that Honda? And it looks like he is gaining slightly. Yes, he's definitely gaining. Has he broken too late into turn 1? No, he hasn't. Wow, he caught a lot of distance up, a lot of ground up then to turn 1. But Paul's got a nice drive out of turn 2. Well, it's more of a kink too, isn't it? So this is turn 3, turn 4. Wide line there by Dragon. Is he going to go to? Well, no, he doesn't. He counts it there. So Paul has probably got a little bit of breathing room, about a second breathing room. But how long can he keep this going for? Dragon will not let him escape if he do all he can to catch up with him. Paul's definitely starting to ease away. So I'll quickly run through what's going on down the field. Here we have PTRT, who's being harassed now by Tricky in the Beamer. Should be an interesting battle. We know Tricky is a fast driver, but Paul is PTRT is in a Honda, so it's going to be difficult for that BMW to get past the Honda. So while these two boys come through the back of the field, let's go back to James in the pasty. Has got past the Aston Martin. The Battle of the Brits cars is winning in the Jag's favour at the moment. He's got past there. So Azarath now in 7th has been harassed by Blackie. He's been harassed by Skivitt. So 7th, 8th, 9th. Azarath, I think that's about the highest he's been in the race so far. And as soon as I say that, he smashes the Honda, and so does Blackie go off at the same corner. So Skivitt has gained ground on these two. Let's see how this pans out coming around the last corner. Blackie gets it sideways out the last corner, loses momentum, which is going to allow the Honda driver here, Skivitt, to undercut him at the last bend here. Takes a bit of curb, pushes Blackie out wide. Blackie manages to save it. So it's Honda versus Honda. Azarath against Skivitt. Coming into turn 1. We are coming up to about halfway into the race. Azarath goes very defensive there, flicks the back end of the Honda out, loses it under acceleration, and here comes Blackie in the Alpha past Azarath as well. So Blackie's got gained a place as well. Nice driving there by both Blackie and Skivitt, but that Honda driver's pushing a bit too hard. I'd say he was pushing. He nearly took the back end of that Alpha out. Now losing grounds to Blackie. Let's go back here. So we'll go back down the field a little bit. Crazy Admiral here in 10th place. He's got a lot of distance now between him and the 55.8 in 11th. And Reindeers Not sure what Rangers is doing. Has he given up? Looks like he's given up. Or he's got some sort of mechanical problem. One of the two. So Wreck Paul has opened up a big gap now between him and Dragon Eagle. Wreck Paul pulling away from the Dutchman. So can the other Dutchman do anything about it? He's got 14 minutes to catch up to his countryman, Dragon Eagle, in second place, but he's going to be harassed all the way by Tricky here in fourth place, it seems. Looking at the map at the top right, this battle here is definitely the closest one going on, and we've got the Skivet battle a little bit further back. So we'll just stick on board with Tricky here now. Looking at the back of PTRT, can Tricky get that Beamer in front of a Honda? It was the ooh, and PTRT touches the dirt and goes sideways, drifts the car through turn 3 there, but Tricky couldn't make much ground. He's probably more concerned of not smashing into that Honda. Gets a nice drive through there. That horrible bend. That bend's a horrible bend because with the barriers on the left hand side, it's hard to spot where the apex is, and it actually turns a lot more than you think it does. So you start putting the power on a little bit earlier than you should. BMW right up close now to the back of that Honda. I'm starting to think, with the PTRT squirming about with that Honda, is it going to be just a matter of time before this BMW can make a move and make it stick against the Honda driver? Oh, good line there. Here we go. He's looking up the inside of the last turn. Is too late on the brake. He's not going to make it there unless it was a desperate lunge. Probably would have ended in disaster, if I'm honest, if he did, but Tricky held off. So he's got the slipstream now up against the PTRT. But the Honda is extremely good in this fast, in a straight line. And as you can see here, there's not much going on in the way of drawing that BMW in. So the BMW's really got to make the time up through the infield section. Puff of smoke there from PTRT, heavy under braking. BMW's caught up under braking. It seems. Looks like the BMW's better at braking than the Honda, to be honest. So, say that though. Oh, and he's done it again. He did that the last lap. PTRT disaster. He clipped the curb, the same spot last lap. He didn't learn his lesson, and it's cost him now dearly. He's lost a place. Tricky. He spun it around properly this time. Last time he went sideways and drifted. This time he went off proper. So, unfortunately, the Dutchman's thrown it away again here. Threw that position away, I have to say. So, let's just go back up the field, see how everyone's getting on and their lap times. See what people are doing. We are over halfway, 19 minutes into the race. We are on lap 11. Fastest lap so far for Wrecked Paul is a 43.8. which is much faster than the fastest lap of the second place driver, Dragon Eagle, 1:45.6. Tricky's done a 45.6 as well in third place. PTRT's done a 45.1 in fourth, so he's slightly quicker than the two in front of him, but he's made a couple of mistakes now and is nowhere near the time of Wreck Paul, gotta say. James a 45.7. Possibly if he harasses PTRT and gets the jag in the wing mirrors of that Honda, it's going to force PTRT maybe to make another mistake. Keep an eye on that as we go. The Aston Martin, I don't care the lap times, I don't care where he is, he's driving an Aston, it looks beautiful to me. Hunted a punty, coming down the main straight in that obviously is a wrong, that can't be 1:47, it's probably 47 seconds. Because Astons are wonderful and we all know that they are brilliant. So there we go. Anyway, Blackie here in the Alpha in 1:45.7. He's doing very quick times, but actually has not managed to keep it together. He's done a 51, so he's had some sort of issue there in the last lap. Did I get that or did I miss that? I'm not sure. Azeroth here in 8th spot, doing a 47.2. Skivet 45. Skivet's a fast driver here. He's got 2 seconds on the other drivers around him, but as you can see, he prefers drifting than racing. Again, that corner is catching so many drivers out. As you can see, Skivet's got the pace. He can do a 45 dead, which is up there with the lead drivers, but he's back here in 9th place because he's just not managing to be consistent. Crazy Admiral's catching now Skivet. He's done a 46, so all Skivet has to do is just keep it together, and he should pull away from the people behind him and catch the people in front. 55.8 is doing a 47s as well. Reindeers has been lapped now, and his best is a 48.6. So we go up to Rec Paul. So I did say Rec Paul was doing a massive, brilliant times. He's over a second, I think it is, if I'm right. A second quicker than the other drivers around him. We have 8 minutes to go. It's another drinks break because my mouth's going dry. And we'll see how things go on after this. And I'm back. Rec Paul's the class of this race, as PTRT was last week. Looks like Rec Paul is the guy for week 2 for League 5. PTRT drove us magnificently in the last week's races. It's now Rec Paul's turn to be in the lead for most of week 2. Dragon Eagle up where he belongs, near the front of the pack. Being last or near the back of the last race has served him well for this one. He's gonna, if he keeps things together, he's only got 7.5 minutes and quite a big gap between him and Tricky in 3rd place. So you can still get a podium there, can Dragon Eagle, if he keeps it together. PTRT having an eventful race is now that Jag. So is the Jag going to catch the Dutchman? Probably not. Don't think. He's been very consistent, is James. He was consistent in the last race. Did very well. So his times all fairly similar. Not too bad. PTRT's gone wide there. He went wide and he must have lost a bit of drive out of the corner. Beautiful shots there coming down the main straight. I'm not sure if James, the flying pasty, can do much about PTRT at the moment with 7 minutes to go, apart from harass the guy into a Dutchman into a mistake. And we're coming up to the section where he's made 2 mistakes already. Is he going to make a 3rd? He seems to drift a bit too wide at this corner here. Nope. Caught it very nicely this time. He's learned from his mistakes and kept it nice and clean, so James has not caught him up to him there. So Aston alert, here we are, I've hunted a punty. Nice line through there. It's a tricky section. If you can overtake someone coming into that section, but it sets you up poorly for the right hand turn coming up to this corner. Aston sounding beautiful. Just ride on board with an Aston Martin. Never gets old with me. Punty the punty, always forgiven for driving a Peugeot when your second car is an Aston Martin. All is forgiven. Oh, smashes the corner and inside. It's alright, it's an Aston, it'll survive. Not sure if that's the best line, but it's the Aston Martin line, I have to say. Oh, he's too wide there. He's going to go far too wide for this corner. Oh, just hangs it. Just catches it on. Here we are with Blackie in the Alpha. He's way off from the Aston. Go Aston. Azarath in a Honda is not catching up to Blackie. Skivet. And another Honda back here. He's doing some fast times. He has done some fast times. 45s, low 45s as well. Back here in 9th. 55.8 in a Corvette. Catching up now to Reindeers, Crazy Admiral. bit off, 55.8. Reindeer's here in 12th place. I think MC Hammer has left the room as well. I can't see him on the circuit anywhere. So now 5 minutes to go. It's all a bit stationary at the moment. Wrecked Paul on his own, pulled out lead from Dragon Eagle, eventually got past him. Dragon Eagle fought back for a while, but the class of Paul has come through in the end, and he's now pulling away, pumping in those times. 44, 44, 45, 43, 44, 44, 43, 46, 46. So consistency there is the name of the game. But here we have Dragon, who can do 45s. He's got his times of 47, 45, 47, 45, 45, 46, 45. A little bit more consistency, but it's doing him all right at the moment because he's still holding his place and I don't know if he's maintaining his lead, but he's keeping it a fair distance away here from Tricky in 3rd place in the BMW on lap 16 now, with 3 minutes to go, so that would be about 2 laps or so. I'm not sure Tricky will be able to catch Dragon Eagle up the road there in that short amount of time. So back here, PTRT is not going to catch Tricky either. It's more of a case of will PTRT make any other mistakes again to let the flying pass. That's a better line, much better line there by PTRT. It does look like the pasty is catching PTRT slightly. James, a flying pasty and a Jaguar with 2.5 minutes to go is slowly but surely reeling in the Honda. Surprising that Jag is catching, but I'm not surprised because I did hear the good things about the Jaguar being a good car for this season. Hunter the Punty wins the award for best car of the day for me in an Aston Martin. He's not really gaining on anyone again. It's more of a case of can he hold off from the Alpha driver of Blackie here in 7th. Azarath still back here in 8th. Doesn't look like he's gaining too much on Blackie. Can't miss Azarath, can you, in that lime green outfit? Skivet here, and again shows you why he's in 9th place by drifting wide and hitting the turf, losing a lot of momentum. 55.8 is slightly ahead of Admiral there in another Jag, so possibly that Admiral could nick a spot off 55.8. Reindeer's in a Corvette still going around, so probably just to pick up the points. So 1.5 minutes to go. Paul is halfway through. No, he's not halfway through. Where is he on the circuit? I'm just trying to figure it out. He's coming up to this turn here. So yeah, he's about halfway through the circuit, and there is 50 seconds to go. So this possibly might be the last lap. I'm not sure if he's going to cross the line or not when 30 minutes are up. So look, the time at the bottom. The time is at the bottom left there. He's got 30 seconds from now to get across the line to start a new lap. I think he might he could, if he wanted to, just eased off the power. He's got such a lead over Dragon Eagle. He could slow up and finish the race. This bit here. So is he going to do it 13 seconds? Or is he going to cross the line? 8 seconds. 7. 6, 5, 4. He's crossed the line, so Paul is going to have to do another lap. So that means 30 minutes are up. Surely that means that now Dragon Eagle, this will be, it's not popped up though. I don't understand why. 30 minutes is up, so Dragon Eagle crosses the line now. Still hasn't set it off. There we go. Oh, sorry, Dragon Eagle did. So Dragon Eagle did set off the checker flag. Dragon Eagle second then. Held off Tricky. PTRT spins in fourth, and James, let's go back to see how close this was in the end. So James couldn't quite catch up to PTRT. PTRT handbrakes it round. 9.9 for artistic impression there for PTRT on the final spin around across the line. Hunty the Punty in the beautiful Aston Martin is going to make it in 6th place. Holds off Blackie in 7th in the Alpha. Azarath is going to come across the line in 8th. Good place, good result for him. Skivitt probably should have thought he probably could have been a bit better than the 9th place that he is, especially as he's in a Honda. Comes across 9th. 55.8 comes across 10th. Crazy Admiral 11th. Reindeers will finish 12th. So we're back on board with Paul on his parade lap, waving at the crowds. No, he's still got his hands on the wheel, isn't he? Should be cruising around now, acknowledging the crowd somewhere in the mountains. Maybe they're on top of the windmills or something. As Paul comes across the line, or comes across the start finish straight for the last time. Is he going to say anything to his pit crew? Is he still in race mode? No, he doesn't ease off at all. Crosses the line now for a well-deserved first place. So there we have it, race 4. We've over a quarter of the season gone now for the boys. PTRT, it's be interesting to see the league table for League 5, as PTRT dominated week 1 and it looks like Paul has dominated week 2. So I look forward to seeing you all for next week. Take it easy, and any comments you want to leave, put them in the comment section below, and we shall speak to you again soon. See you later. Bye.